Welcome to the everyday adventures of the Wheelie Hogs. Join little Wee and his family, especially Nana, as they live their lives alongside friends and neighbours in Hoglington. The Wolf of the Willyclumps. It was the last week of the school summer holidays, and because the camping trip at the beginning of the holidays had been such good fun, all the children had decided that they would love to do it again. This time, though, without parents. All the parents agreed that it would be okay for them to go alone, as long as some of the older siblings went along too. Pinky Bow didn't want to go along this time, as she had made plans with friends. So Rainbow brought along two of their friends to join in with the last adventure of the summer holidays. This was the first time the children had ever camped out without their parents and were very excited. They all packed their sleeping bags, plenty of food, which included a specially made cake by Nana, and lots of water to drink. As before, they all met at little Wheelie's house and then headed off up the lane to look for a good camping spot in the Willyclumps, which is a small wooded area in the fields. As they were wheeling along, chatting and laughing about the adventure ahead, they spotted Old Horace Hogg wheeling towards them. Horace Hogg was a very old wheelie hog who had lived in Hoglington forever, and he spent all his time wandering the footpaths, woods and fields, making sure everything was all right. Horace Hogg rarely spoke to anyone, but all the Wheelie Hog children said hello to him. It was always nice to see Horace Hogg doing the rounds in the countryside. Today, though, Horace Hogg replied, "Hello, children, where are ye all off to then?" Pleased to be talking to Horace, all the children excitedly gathered round him, telling him of their camping trip in the Willyclumps that night. All right, replied Horace Hogg. That sounds like good fun, but mind you don't disturb the Wolf of the Willyclumps. He comes to life up there during the night. He growls and howls and don't like wheelie hogs in his woods. And with that said, Horace Hogg disappeared into a hedgerow as mysteriously as he had appeared. The children all turned to each other, not really sure what to make of what old Horace Hogg had just told them. "He's just messing about with us," said Rainbow reassuringly. "He's trying to give us a bit of a scare to make the camping trip more exciting." "And it's working," replied little Wheelie and Henry. "We're scared now, but we still want to go. We'll stick together. We'll be all right. Come on, gang, let's go and find the Wolf of the Willyclumps." And they all picked up speed and wheeled as fast as they could to set camp for the night. The children all arrive at the Willyclumps. They look around and find a good spot for camping. "This looks like a perfect spot," calls Rainbow to everyone. They all agree and they roll out their sleeping bags and put all their food and other supplies safely in a pile for later. The rest of the afternoon was spent playing in the Willyclumps, rolling up and down the humps, swinging from the ropes in the trees, and lots of other fun things besides. There was lots of laughter coming from the group of friends inside the little wood, and anyone passing by could not help but smile at the sounds of joy to be heard. Night time begins to set in, so Rainbow and their friends light a small campfire and begin to settle everyone down for some food and to get ready for stories and toasted marshmallows before bed. Little Wee and Henry were starting to feel slightly sick because they'd eaten quite a lot of marshmallows, so they all decided to try and get some sleep, ready for more fun in the morning. Rainbow put the small campfire out by pouring water on it and said, "Good night, gang. Sleep tight. Sweet dreams." "Good night, Rainbow," they all sleepily replied together. All the Wheelie Hogs were laid in their sleeping bags, not really sleeping, when suddenly there was a strange sound. "Blah, blah, 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 blah." "What was that?" exclaimed Rainbow. "Has one of you got wind, or was that a giant tummy rumble?" All the Wheelie Hogs burst out laughing and started blaming each other for the blub 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 noise. "I hope Horace Hogg's story about the Wolf of the Willyclumps isn't true," says Little Wee, when all the laughter died down and they all try and go back to sleep, but maybe keeping one eye open just in case. Suddenly, from the darkness, they hear lots of rustling and the sound of something walking in the grass and the undergrowth. Then a big growling noise bellows out across the night sky. The children all jump and say, "What's that noise?" They hear more rustling and trampling sounds going from the darkness, followed by more growling and what sounded like barking. By this time the children are a bit scared and think the Wolf of the Willyclumps has appeared. "This is definitely not my tummy rumbling," says Henry. Then, out of the darkness, they see a pair of red eyes glowing like rubies. This is enough for the children. They are sure the wolf has arrived to get them. They all start to wheel around, screaming and laughing at the same time. It all becomes a bit chaotic, and Rainbow tries to settle everyone down again, but the growling and barking continues behind them in the darkness. Suddenly, above all the noise and chaos, they hear a friendly and familiar voice. "Oi, children! What seems to be the problem here, then?" "Is that you, Horace Hogg?" yell out all the children together. "Yeah, it be me all right." "Oh, thank goodness. We are being followed by the Wolf of the Willyclumps. He's coming to get us." Old Horace Hogg does a little chuckle to himself and settles the children down. They have now got their torches shining and feel a little better with some light. The children all nervously explained to old Horace Hogg that they had heard a mysterious creature stomping and tramping in the grass around their camp. It made growly noises and what sounded like barking, followed by a pair of scary ruby red eyes glowing in the dark. At this point, Horace Hogg couldn't help laughing. "I was only joking about the Wolf of the Willyclumps. No such thing ever lived here, really." "What did we see and hear then, Horace?" all the children asked together. "We definitely heard and saw something, and to us it sounded like the Wolf of the Willyclumps." Horace thought for a moment and then said, "It sounds to me like you children heard a deer. They live in these woods and come out every night and go about their business looking for food. Them deer won't harm ye. They're very friendly if you ask me." And then he takes off into the darkness. "Where's old Horace going?" asked Little Wheelie. Then the children hear the growling, barking noise again, followed by Horace's soothing voice saying, "There, there, my lovely, no need for alarm. These are a friendly bunch. There, there." Then walking towards the torchlight, they see Horace Hogg followed by a beautiful big deer. "Here you go then, children. This is what you could hear," said Horace, as he gently encouraged the deer to come forward into the campsite. All the children breathed a sigh of relief and gently gathered around the deer and gave him a friendly pat and rub on the head. "Well," said Horace, "that was a lot of excitement for one evening. I'm feeling a bit peckish." So old Horace Hogg and all the Wheelie Hogs sat around the campsite together and by torchlight ate up what was left as Nana's camping cake and had a good laugh about what had happened. Everyone was feeling very tired now and went back to their sleeping bags. And then, as mysteriously as he appeared, old Horace Hogg and the deer disappeared into the darkness of the woods. "I feel very safe knowing that old Horace Hogg is out there, keeping watch on all the creatures in the woods," says Little Wee. Everyone sleepily agreed, and were very thankful for all wardens of nature like Old Horace Hogg, not only in Hoglington, but throughout the whole world. That night all the Wheelie Hogs slept really well, but the next morning Little Wee and his friends noticed a very large paw print in the mud outside their tent. "I wonder what kind of animal could have left such a big paw print," they said. They all looked at each other and gulped. "The Wolf of the Willyclumps!" Until next time, roll with the Wheelie Hogs.